Ineffable Holiday 2019, a fanfiction series written and narrated by Ineffable Tereshi. If you enjoy this podfic, you can read the original work on an archive of our own. Please see the description beneath this video for more information. December 6th, Snow Angel. St. James Park was crawling with humans out enjoying the first snowfall of the season, plus one angel out reveling in the love and joy that poured off of said humans in waves. Children ran about tossing snowballs at one another, or congregated in groups to see who could build the best snowman. Young lovers shared steaming cups of cocoa and other hot treats from the variety of carts up and down the walkways. Elderly couples snuggled together beneath soft blankets on park benches and watched the gentle, cottony flakes fall to the ground. The angel, Aziraphale, strolled through the park with his hands clasped behind his back and a smile on his face, simply enjoying the feelings of goodwill permeating the entire area. The holidays were always just a lovely time to spend amongst humans, but there was something in particular about that first perfect snowfall. The first snow of the season that was significant enough to accumulate, whilst not being quite enough to be a nuisance. That seemed to bring about the most wonderful winter feelings of fun and togetherness. Aziraphale couldn't get enough of it, even if he wasn't overly fond of the cold himself. The giddiness, the excitement, the feeling that the holidays truly were on their way. It infused the angel with a beautiful sense of contentment that made him warm inside. He spent several hours in the park throughout the afternoon and evening, soaking in all the good feelings and sending them back out as little miracles to the loveliest people he passed. It had been an enjoyable day, and he would be sad for it to end, but he had just decided that it was time to head back to the bookshop when it happened. A freezing cold, hard-packed snowball struck him right in the side of the head. Now, given his status as a celestial being, it would have taken an awful lot more than a bit of solidified and compressed water to do any kind of actual physical harm to Aziraphale. But that did not mean that his pride went unaffected. The unexpected attack caused the angel to stumble quite dramatically, nearly knocking him off his feet altogether. The bit of snow that had stuck where the ball connected slid down his face, leaving a cold, wet trail through his hair and down his jawline. The remainder of the snowball had exploded and splattered all over his coat and the tartan scarf he'd worn out for the occasion. For a moment the angel was too shocked to do anything but blink in confusion. But when he heard the unrestrained snicker that flew his way from a tree to the left, he turned in that direction with eyes burning of holy retribution. The grin on Crowley's face was equal parts adorable and punchable, as he lounged against the tree whilst tossing a second snowball up and down playfully. "Letting your guard down, angel," the demon scolded. "Very dangerous, you know. What if some foul fiend were to sneak up on you?" Aziraphale's ice-blue eyes narrowed. Slowly, holding the demon's eye the entire time, he lifted one mitten-encased hand, and suddenly there was a snowball where there had been previously nothing. "Run!" The demon took off with a childlike shriek that he would later deny, the angel hot on his heels. It was a vicious battle of heaven against hell that lasted well into the evening. Adults looked on with amusement as two grown men chased each other in circles, pelting snow with remarkable accuracy back and forth. Children occasionally joined in, sometimes taking sides, sometimes teaming up in an attempt to take out the demon and the angel both. They laughed and screamed and felt tears of mirth cool to their cheeks, and while the humans eventually tired and said their goodbyes, the celestial pair fought on. Eventually the moon had risen and the park was all but empty, and Aziraphale stalked carefully through a congested group of foliage, having somehow lost track of his adversary. "I know you're here somewhere," he said, knowing that he needn't raise his voice for the demon to hear him. I think we've both had our fun, don't you? It's been quite a lovely day." He popped around a tree, found nothing there, and continued on slowly. "But I rather think it's about time to head back to the bookshop for a hot cocoa and— Oof!" He'd thought he had his wits quite about him, but before Aziraphale had even noticed the shadow in front of him, he was on his back in the snow, with a very cocky-looking demon astride him. The angel glared up at the grinning fiend and tried very hard to be angry, but a hint of a smile cracked through. "Honestly, my dear, now you've gotten my clothes all wet." The complaint was a half-hearted one. Crowley leaned down with a hand on either side of Aziraphale's head and flicked out his serpentine tongue to playfully flick his angel's nose. "Well, I suppose we'll just have to head home and get you out of them, shan't we?" Devilish amber eyes leered up over dark glasses, and eyebrows wiggled invitingly. Aziraphale couldn't help but laugh. With a smile that could have gotten him out of trouble 1,000 times over, Crowley pushed to his feet and offered a hand to help his angel up. Aziraphale reached for the hand, but then hesitated, eliciting a confused tilt of the head from his demon. "One moment," the angel said, with a grin of his own. "I've always wanted to do this." It was quick. Aziraphale didn't want to risk someone wandering by and seeing. But for just a moment, where there had once been a normal-seeming man laying in the snow in the middle of St. James's Park, there was now an angel in every sense of the word. Then, barely a heartbeat later, Aziraphale was letting Crowley lift him up, and the pair were looking down into the snow together, chuckling with joy. They walked away together, hand in hand, and when next a human wandered by, they were confused to see a true snow angel imprinted onto the first snow of the season. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications of future uploads. If you would like to read more of my work, you can find me on An Archive of Our Own as Ineffable Tereshi. Please see the description box below this video for more information and other ways to follow me. Mind how you go.